Speaking of like being able to tell your future, would you rather know how you die or when you die?
Ooh, I'd probably say I want to know how I die. Because then I'm like, oh, I know how I'm going to die, right?
It's on a podcast.
But yeah. Just through the window. Shoots me like Hitman. Like, oh, sick. They said it'd be fun. I'm like floating to heaven, right? Time of my life. Yeah, I'd probably say like
at least he died doing what he loved.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Talking into a mic with a bunch of dudes. You know what I'm saying?
Coming down to the wire. Epicenter's ended. Rick Strike is coming up on the end zone.
Flair did it different.
Legendary.
Therefore, down to the wire means the very last possible moment or to the very end.
No, I'd probably say, because if I knew when I was going to die, I'd be like anxiety, looking at a map, like a clock, a calendar, all that stuff. And then like, I don't know. But then maybe it would give me an incentive to like push harder before my due date.
I would just start smoking cigarettes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always thought like if like Majora's Mask style an asteroid was coming and like you're ready to die, I'd probably like smoke crack.
Yeah.
Just for the hell of it.
If you're gonna do crack,
I was gonna say heroin would be mine.
See, that's what everybody's like. Oh, I'll do heroin and nod off.
I want to
but,
be
like,
in the action.
Oh
you know?
yeah,
I want to be flipping cars.
Stare
and
at the meteor head on.
I got it, boys.
Yeah,
Just fucking like
huge
run
fucking
towards
rush as everything's coming towards me. People are like, "Oh, I'll do acid." I'm like, "Bro, I ain't even doing that." Sometimes when I did acid, I would stare at people's face and they'd be talking to me. I'm like, "Man, I don't like your face." Like, it's tripping me out, bro. I can't talk to you right now, you know? Like, imagine that, but a meteor's coming towards you. I'd be like, ah! But if I'm
You're
high,
just looking at the meteor like, I don't like this guy's fucking face, bro.
yeah, exactly. At least if I'm high on crack, I'll be like, fuck, the asteroid's coming. I probably got 30 minutes. Where's the Cadillac converter, you know? And then just fucking just try and steal
Gonna
one.
rip some copper out of these
Yeah,
walls here. I
exactly.
need some more crack.
Going into bars and just stealing a shitload of their, like, what are those, mule mugs? Just thinking it's, like, full copper, ready to go.
Dude, I love I work in a bar and there's an ATM in it, and every once in a while a customer will be like, I think there's a crackhead at the ATM. And every time there's a crackhead at the ATM, like that's something you're sure of when you see a crackhead at an ATM. There's no confusing that. Every time I walk over, there's two ways it's going. There's the guy who's like, there's no money coming out, and he's got like a Tim's card in the thing.
Yeah.
Or he's just violently shaking it. Like that's the only two ways that a crackhead knows how to interact with the ATM machine.
ATM, and he's like talking to it. Come on, baby, please, just give me a 20.
crackheads and cokeheads. Only two guys you find at an ATM in a bar.
Yeah, facts. Yeah. The only issue is that crackheads don't buy drinks. You know, they just come in because they know there's an ATM.
Neither do cokeheads. They'll buy one and milk it.
True.
Because really, it's like if you're at the bar, you're just gonna pay with like your card or whatever. Like, what are you doing going to the ATM? You know, unless it's a cash transaction.
The bag guy's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
The bag man.
Watch out for that Ultima out front.
It's got his winter tires on all year.
Yeah,
Exactly.
No, can I get a Guinness now? And then you're like, oh yeah, for sure.
That actually just happened to me. These people came in at about 12:45. They ordered 2 drinks and 2 shots. They took the shots, had a sip of their drinks, and then proceeded to just talk. Saw him go to the bathroom, but he goes to the bathroom, comes back out, grabs his jacket, goes back to the bathroom, comes out a second later, puts his jacket back on the seat, grabs his girlfriend's jacket because he was confused about where it was. They were in there for so long, but at like 1:55, they were 5 minutes from closing. They're about to get like, I was like, hey, they're gonna leave now. I was like, you guys get on last call? They're like, oh, actually, we'll get 2 more drinks. I was like, no, you won't. I just watch you nurse those ones for an hour and a half. There's no fucking way I'm doing that again, man.
That's what I've always like seen when people like order like pints or stuff, and I'm like, if they take like one sip and it's not like a quarter gone, I'm like, what are we doing here? you know, just that small sip. I'm like, what is it, a tea, bro? I'm like, guzzle it back. I want to see 2 throat gulps, you know, every time.
He came to the bar to drink responsibly.
Yeah. Know your limit. Stay within it. 17 pints.
18 is when it gets dicey.
That's when he starts getting a little punchy.
That's when he gets a little Republican, is it the 18?
Yeah. Oh,
Sure.
that guy's not a liberal. I'll tell you that.
Before we get into the back page news here, I got to ask, because you brought it up. When you're on acid, you don't like someone's face. What is it about someone's face?
It's just melting in a particular way I don't like, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, or like their features are like sometimes I have one buddy, and like when we were at the cottage and we did it, and then he was just looking at me as like it was real, like his nose was more dominant and his eyes were like sunken in, like I don't know.
Could see the depth.
Yeah,
you
and
know?
like
Yeah.
I felt like a little energy of him, and then I was like, oh man, like it's a dark energy, and then he kind of looked like Darth Sidious a little bit, you know, or like when Bilbo wants his ring back, he's like, ah! I was like, holy fuck, you know. But yeah, sometimes I don't know, and even when I'm on mushrooms, I'll just look at people's faces and be like, because like you don't realize like humans look weird, you know. There's a lot of weird looking people out there.
Oh yeah.
So then when you're on like a psychedelic, you're like, oh my god, I can see.
Just I can see no more.
Yeah. Like
I
I can see it, you know. But yeah, just I don't know. Some people's faces, I just don't like. They aren't aesthetically pleasing, you know. And especially when you're on like a psychedelic, it's just amplified. You're like, holy fuck, man, you're actually like really ugly. You know, like
That's such a kind way, but I just, you know, you're not very aesthetically
yeah.
pleasing physically.
You know how people are easy on the eyes. Like this guy looked like he makes love with a shovel sometimes. You know, you're just like
I don't know what that means, but I know what that means.
yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean?
like a face only a shovel could love. You know.
You ever do that thing where you're like
It's a
sitting?
blue collar saying.
Yeah.
You've worked some hands-on jobs for sure.
Oh yeah, but
You ever do that thing where you're like sitting like upside down from somebody else's face and you're looking at their face upside down for too long that your brain
Yeah, your dentist. Yeah.
yeah, and your brain tries to like flip it back and that shit trips me the fuck out.
Like Tom Tucker's kid from Family Guy. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about, don't you? You know what I'm
Tom
talking-
Tucker from Family Guy, the
No.
news anchor in Family Guy.
His kid?
oh,
His head,
okay.
he's got upside down head.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay,
a rare
okay.
medical condition. Called upside down.
Yeah. It just reminds me of like, you remember those things where people would cover their face with a blanket and then put the googly eyes on their chin and start talking?
The
Yeah.
Jackass one where he's like fights the scorpions.
Yeah.
Pontius the Barbarian.
Yeah.
All right, man. Speaking of Tom Tucker, let's get on the back page news. You familiar with our back page news at all?
No.
This is what we do.
I haven't even. You guys were like, you want to do it, and I was like, I saw a couple clips. I'm like, all right, it looks fun, and everybody's like,
people
it's
have
fun.
been saying it's a fun pod to do.
Yeah.
though. He said people told me this is a good.
I've
time.
not heard
People are
one
saying
bad
that,
thing about you guys.
You only talk to like one person.
No, I've talked to four to five.
Really?
Yeah, everybody's like,
Wow.
oh man, these
good
guys are
sample
fun.
size, eh?
That's good, eh?
Yeah.
He name dropped too. He wasn't lying.
No, I wasn't.
I tried to check him too. He's like, I've heard this is really fun. I was like, who told you that?
Yeah, who told you?
Don't worry about it.
Who do you know that it's fun? It's immediately turned into Batman. Where's the interviewers? But, yeah, no, I heard it's fun. I don't know what's Backpage News, where we like news on all the girls on Backpage.
That's what everyone thinks. That was the original idea, but YouTube would demonetize us. So
Yeah.
basically what it is, it's news that's not on the front page. We find really weird, obscure things going on around the world, and then we
Okay.
just react to it.
Okay,
So first headline we got here reads.
love it. 9/11 picture already. Sick. Pretty sure that was front page news, but whatever.
It's his favorite holiday.
Yeah, exactly. Especially with the Benny Hill one, where it's like, and then the plane goes in. I got a guilty pleasure, I'm not gonna lie, with the quick mashups where like you see someone like turn into a plane and fly, and then it just
I've seen
smokes
those.
that.
Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are very good.
Yeah.
All right, headline reads, Buffalo Bills head coach Sean McDermott apologizes for using 9/11 hijackers as an example for teamwork.
So to like motivate his team back in 2019, he used the reference of like how the hijackers got together and pulled off that amazing heist and how they're
Oh.
able to do that. Tried to fire up his team and it got really awkward in that meeting.
Well, little did he know it was an inside job from his team, I guess.
This happened back in 2019 though. It's getting leaked now. I like the picture they use. It's him in a NYPD hat.
Yeah.
That's on I'm pretty sure they played the Jets that day, and the Jets were the fire department won, and it's a 9/11.
It was probably a 9/11 game.
Yeah,
They're
it
a
is.
New York
It
team.
is. Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
play each other for the 9/11 bowl, they call it.
Yeah.
They don't call it that, but that would be
Yeah,
pretty fucked up.
the
man.
9/11 bowl instead of blue 42. It's Alhamdulillah 58. Alhamdulillah 58. Allah Bakar, but say hi. And then they just throw it. He's not liking it, but you guys did this to yourselves.
Oh, fuck.
Well,
that's
what?
funny.
So then what? He was just like, you guys hijacked this, like the 9/11 guys.
He was like, what I don't understand is they were good in 2019.
Yeah, they were.
They didn't need any extra motivation. So what was he thinking? Like, these guys need, like, where are you pulling this analogy from? Like, they need to come together like how Al Qaeda did and pulled off that heist.
Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could probably have used a better reference for sure.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is. They say it's a strange comment for sure. That's a strange comment.
This is major, like, it's major, but Hitler was a good leader energy, you know?
Yeah.
People that make that argument.
I was thinking like it's equating it to like, you know, do you know who had confidence? And confidence is the thing that matters. The people who built the Titanic, you know? Like that type of sort of same
Sean
mentality.
McDermott's idol is the Unabomber.
It's like, I just find it funny. He's like, you know what really brought peace to the world? The atomic bomb. You know, it's that same like
You kind of did though. You know? They kind of did. They're okay. Maybe we should just calm down a little bit. Right?
No, you're right.
Yeah, they just said Japan finally was like, yeah, okay, we can watch this movie here in Japan because they banned it in Japan. Yeah, and then like they were like, actually, well, we'll let them watch
It's a good film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
This guy probably fucking admires the execution of the Boston bombings.
Yeah. Really rallied the city together.
It did, dude.
Yeah.
I still have my Boston Strong shirt.
Yeah.
It's fucked though. It's crazy that it's tragedy that has to bring people together like that.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was a good did you watch the documentary on Netflix? So like it was like a 6
The Boston one?
Yeah, 6 episode. It was pretty like wild, man. Like I didn't know how vast of like a manhunt it was.
Oh, it was crazy.
Oh yeah, and then like the mad shootout between the cops when they like finally caught the guys and stuff. But
well, I just watched. You just watched the Mark Wahlberg movie. You know, it happens in like 2 hours. It's a little condensed version of it. Patriots Day.
Yeah, that's the Cliff Note Hollywood version.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, is this a real quote from Mark Wahlberg? Because we talked about it, how Mark Wahlberg said if he was on 9/11, it wouldn't have happened.
I'm pretty sure. He said
Okay.
if I was on one of those flights, can we get a fact on that, please?
Fact check Mark Wahlberg.
See, okay, I just had
9/11.
I just had an idea, but like, you know, saying that, you know, the team of terrorists that came together
Yeah.
is one thing, but like think of the team of like first responders that also came together to like help the city. And you have like, there's a lot of different teams that came together.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
America as a team came together, but you decide to go with the 19 terrorists.
He pulled the classic, like, he pulled the, like, but I have a black friend equivalent. He was like, oh, I had like a family friend die in 9/11, so I take it.
Oh, that's what he pulled it? Yeah.
So-
I can say that because my niece died.
Yeah.
No, there's a
That
cool...
Norm Macdonald joke. She was in Northern Canada, but
There's
was
like
on
a wicked
9/11.
documentary because my buddy's a firefighter out in Hamilton. So like there was this film documentary, like this French filmmaker that went and did like a basically from the start of recruitment of like going into fire school leading up, and then they picked one guy, and then the one guy was like stationed in New York, and they were just filming like his first day kind of thing, and then they ended up catching the plane hitting the tower, and then it became like a documentary. Like it whole changed inside the conception of the filming, where like they went to the World Trade Center and then started like filming all that stuff. But then like the one guy that they were filming, it was his first day, so he had to sit back at the fire hall, and like every 10 minutes he's like, I gotta go, but I don't want, I gotta go, and then like he wants to get into action, and then at the end he's like, it's probably best I just stayed at the hall. It's probably best I just stayed here. And you're like, yeah, for sure it was, dude. For sure, you know? Like, imagine that's your first day. You're like, oh, fuck, 120 stairs? God damn it. You know?
You're holding a blanket with 2 other guys, like,
Yeah.
trying to catch people falling. You're like, yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing that could have trained
Like
you
the
for
old school firefighters, like the one where like the 1920s, like they got the little like trampoline.
Yeah,
trying-
yeah, exactly.
Trying to catch that one lone jumper.
Play that to the Benny Hills track, too.
Yeah. But you know,
What's
time
the quote,
equals
Coleman?
tragedy.
I can't read that.
Coleman, can you read that to us, please?
If I was on that plane with my kids, it wouldn't have went down like it did,
Yeah.
there would have been a lot of blood in that first class cabin, and then me saying, "Okay, we're gonna land somewhere safely. Don't worry."
So Mark Wahlberg would have also landed it.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
pilot experience.
Flies it upside down like Denzel Washington in Flight.
You would have sullied it right into the river.
Yeah. But now, like, ever since that happened, though, whenever I go on planes, it's like, I don't know, like, even like some places I'll go, I'll always look at like exits and shit. And then, but like when I'm on a plane, I'm like, okay, like, you know, if it did happen or if a hijacker came, what would be like, you know?
I was at the bank the other day and I was like waiting in line and I didn't have my like music playing or anything. I was just looking around. I was like, if someone walked in here to rob this place, I'd have a pretty good shot, I think.
Dude, I used to think that all the time in school lockdowns. I'd be like, if someone did fucking walk in right now,
Yeah.
I'd beat the fuck out of this guy. I'm like in grade 6, dude.
Let me at him. Let me at him.
Yeah, you're like, I've played enough first-person shooters, boys. Stock the door, right? You're like, pizza cut it all the way out. But everybody, you don't have guns, but you've made those hornets. Like, everybody's got the staples and the slingshots, right?
I'm thinking like, this is how I impress Natalie, dude. I saved the entire
Yeah,
school.
yeah. Didn't accept my Twinkie, but now you're gonna love me. Right? But I don't know. Sometimes you like, I don't know, man. I always think about like hero moments where you're like, if shit goes down, like what would I do? You know, like I just took first aid for the hell of it, and like I want to have a hero moment, you know, jump into it and like action. But then like I think that, but I don't know if I'd freeze up. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of wouldn't.
You wouldn't freeze up?
It depends on what it is, to be honest.
Yeah.
It'll
Like, what if
sober you
guns
up
are
right quick.
involved?
Guns are involved.
Mm.
I mean, I don't know. You just kind of look for cover, and then where can I get going? You know, I guess with that, right? You're like, fuck, why didn't I have mine? Right? But
So when you watch a movie and you're just like, yeah, I would have done that too, Keanu. That was.
oh yeah,
exactly what
I would have
would've
done 19 headshots and a couple Kimuras for sure, right? My girlfriend's like, buddy, you cover your eyes when you watch scary movies. You know what I mean? But I feel like that's the thing. Like, if it was a ghost or a spirit, man, I'm
that.
screwed,
Yeah,
dude.
fuck.
100%.
It's a phantom.
Oh yeah, dude, are you kidding me? A poltergeist comes and like, you know, and I'm like peeling my face in a mirror. I'd be like, I'm getting out of here. But if it was like
But Osama,
yeah,
fucking bring it on.
active shooter, bring it on, right? But like active ghost, I'm out of here.
It's like, have you ever, there's like I learned this in like a philosophy class about like how, you know, there might be a bulletproof human being out there. It's just that person may never have been shot, so they'd never know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That could be you, man.
Buddy, I'm bulletproof. I would almost just like seeing a guy that thinks he's bulletproof and then just getting blasted. It's like my one friend who doesn't think he can burn from the sun. He's like, I don't burn.
Is he white?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And then he
Does he
turns
burn?
pink and oh for sure, man. Yeah, he does. Went on a cab ride with him and he was just crisp. He was, dude. And by the way, I love catamarans. You know, I
This
do.
is the second time it has. come
Oh
up,
yeah, man! Are you kidding me? You just get in there, especially when the water's choppy, and then you
And a
sit on
little
the
spritz
net
on your
Woo!
back.
And
Yeah, yeah.
A little
It's nice.
bidet.
Yeah,
Portable
get a
bidet.
little launched, and then it's just a what's that? The opposite of a bidet, a more intense bidet.
The
A,
opposite
Enema.
of a bidet.
Enema. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yeah. Got a bidet installed
good
in the
time
house.
is
It's
what
just
I
an
call
enema
it.
machine. Oh yeah, Danny, your enemas. I mean, your bidet is a little thick, and you're like, yeah, I know, but like, you get to see all the chunks of shit that's in your body after. It's like that Full Medical one. Always wanted to do one of those too. Where you go there, and then it's just the tube, and then you get
that
you
place
get,
exists.
yeah, dude, it's like a full like a body one, and then you get to see like they're like the doctor will come, and then it's like
They analyze it.
yeah, and it
they're
goes
like-
through like a little fish tank, like filter-esque kind of thing.
It
He's
is
And
like,
then-
he looks at it and he's like, you need more iron. You know, your calcium like levels are low.
yeah,
here.
and then he's like, this piece of fecal matter right here is actually about like 5 years old.
yeah.
Yeah,
And it's like in your poop sleeve.
yeah, it's in like the little tank it goes through.
Yeah, and you can see that this one is shaped like the Horn of Africa, so that means you're not eating enough solid food. Like,
Yeah.
it's that sort of stuff.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do anal.
Yeah. Oh, like yourself? Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's why I don't like do anal. I don't like my shit pushed in further than it stings. Yeah,
That's what I thought too.
yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
Me too, I
Yeah,
guess.
the whole room went hurt. That's why I don't do
yeah,
anal.
that's why I don't.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
don't- Also, it hurts.
Yeah.
Bad knees.
Bad
I got
knees.
bad knees.
Okay, last thing about this story I wanted to bring up. This quote. Scroll down a bit, Colin, to the bottom of the story. So they said, like, as of late, this story, I think someone in the building is trying to just ruin this guy's character right now, because there's like rumors that they're trying to fire this guy. They don't like him anymore. Apparently, he's getting really socially awkward around teams or around players on the team right now. And they said this last quote right here. Fuck, your head's in the way. Let me sleep.
Got you, bro.
This right here. He said
fat stupid head.
he like tells like fucked up stories with no endings right now, apparently, in team meetings. So he's like, the coach explained how members from the Coast Guard did everything they could to save this woman from this story. He built up all this drama. Players held on tight for an inspiring apex and nothing. He just said the woman died. End of story. Sounds like your grandpa telling a story. Like,
Yeah.
you know
And
what I mean?
the story that they're talking about right there is the story about how the Coast Guard tried to save a woman from going over Niagara Falls. So they tried really hard to save this woman, and then she ended up just going over Niagara Falls. That's the climax of the story. Not even she just died. She died by falling over the edge of Niagara Falls.
Canadian side?
That's why you got to play
the Buffalo
stronger
side.
defense.
The Buffalo
Yeah,
side.
the Buffalo
man.
side. You know, she should have came over to Canada. It would have been a better sight when she's falling.
Canada's Coast Guard at Niagara Falls is just a really long stick.
Yeah. And he's just going, hey, bud, that's not a good idea. Not a good idea, bud. Just pushing it.
That's hilarious.
And some of those like videos are like crazy though, where like the people are like the massive waterfalls, and then they're like right at the edge. That just gives me anxiety.
Yeah, those I know exactly where they're like taking little baths at the end of the.
Yeah,
it's weird.
or like where they're in the Grand Canyon and they're trying to get the most craziest photo, and then you're like, man,
Oh yeah,
people fall off that all the time.
yeah. There's a YouTuber that just died who like does that shit. Like he'll like climb tall buildings and fucking do like parkour and stuff.
Oh man, those the urban.
I don't even like watching those, man.
I do.
I feel like my
Yeah, but we're watching it for the different reason. He's like, oh, this is cool. We're like, fall. Yeah.
It's like I remember when Reddit used to be super fucked up. There's
still
just,
is.
it's a lot better than it used to be. There used to just be a subreddit called "Watch People Die,"
Oh
I
yeah.
heard
and
that.
I remember I'd sit there and just be like, "Wow, this is crazy," and you just watching a guy get chewed up in the gears of like some
You're
big factory.
Oh yeah, but I like
My buddy and I'd be like watching him, be like a milk bag. He just got sucked into that thing.
Yeah.
Exploded.
My brother always sends me, but we like grew up with like gore.com. Like,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
when the internet first came out, and then they were like, well, maybe we should put this like not in the internet, but in the dark web. And it was like all like the murder videos and like all like the crazy like death ones where people are like working on trains, but then they touch like the two wires and then they explode. And you're like, my brother's like, yeah, man, you should watch this. I'm like, why? He goes, sometimes when you feel alive, you gotta watch people die, bro. I'm like, that's morbid, man, but I don't know. Maybe I'm like desensitized to it.
That's fucking deep, dude. To know what it's
Yeah.
like to live, you need to know what it's like to die.
Yeah,
Watch
yeah,
people
and
die
then
to
it's just
really
like an
live.
OHSA, like OSHA, like a little video of like workplace safety. At the end, you're like, today we're gonna watch this guy end up in a meat grinder. You're like, oh, so what did you notice from the film? You're like, well,
He wasn't wearing his non-slip shoes.
Yeah,
he wasn't wearing his
exactly.
non-slip shoes.
Was his boots green patched? But
I remember I was doing my lifeguarding course and they showed us a fucking video of like they're like, watch this kid, she falls in the pool, the lifeguards don't notice it, she drowns. You just are like they were like also trigger warning like at the end of it. You're like, what?
yeah, it's because the lifeguard's 16 and he's just hitting on other 16-year-old girls, and then he's just trying to get laid, but the kid's drowning in the pool. Oh no, that's Tim. He's all good, man. He's a level 4 swimmer.
I was
fucking up my shit all the time.
Yeah. He's a huge cock block right now, by the way.
just a real boner killer. over
Yeah.
Just fucking one time, Tim. One fucking time.
So then, were you a lifeguard?
Yeah.
Nice.
I was the type of like there was one time
You do have lifeguard vibes, though.
there was one time I fell asleep for a solid 10 minutes in the chair at watching a pool, just straight up. I was like, oh fuck.
Really?
Oh shit. Oh shit. Like quick scan. It's like whew, whew.
Goes back to sleep.
Yeah. That was a good dream. I'm not gonna lie. That would suck, though.
Oh yeah.
If you fell asleep and a kid actually
But the
drowned.
thing is like I've done more first aid working in bars than I ever did working at a pool.
yeah, like
Yeah.
just people choking, Narcan kits and all that stuff, or like that.
You'd be surprised how many Narcan kits you got to administer at a public pool, though.
Yeah. This kid's flying on meth. Yeah.
Is that 4 front flips?
He ate an
Gee.
old piece of candy underneath some fucking chair.
Yeah, the guy's like, yeah, well, you got the smiley face on your arm, but let's throw some dangerous eyebrows on there. We're gonna do a quick little bump of fentanyl and try and do a lap.
All right, next headline we got here reads.
I do want to, just because we didn't spend very much time talking about it, we can cut this, but I like this quote. If anyone misinterpreted or didn't understand my message, I apologize. What is there to misinterpret or not understand from your message, my guy?
He's just trying to really rally the troops, and I feel the message got lost in there.
Rally the troops is a hilarious metaphor to use for this situation.
It's Afghanistan out there in Buffalo. All right, anyway.
This guy.
Yeah, it's like funny though, because like in America, it's like this is a rally, like, you know, like they all came together. So I could see him being like, "Oh, I was just trying to get everybody on the same page and like come together, like we fought the Taliban."
Yeah, but that's not what he said.
He said the opposite.
The problem is what he's not.
The problem is
He's just like, you know what, man, I got somebody who could say it better. And then Mark Wahlberg comes in the dressing room.
You know what? You got to hand it to him though. They fucking.
I'm laughing because like I feel like people are just like giggling in the audio, like in like.
Yeah,
the
I would
crowd
not
of
be able to hold
You know
it
what I mean?
together.
He's like, hey, 19 good men are dead. 19 good men.
Christ. wrong team, bud.
All right. Next headline reads: Woman sentenced to fast food job after hurling Chipotle bowl at worker.
So this lady didn't get her order right, so she got it again, and then on the second order, they even like blessed her with some nice like extra protein, some extra veggies on that.
Big protein.
She was still like getting rattled at this teenage employee that was working at the Chipotle. So the manager stepped in, and then she just hurled her steaming hot Chipotle order at this manager's face.
That's a
and then
weapon of
stormed
mass
out.
destruction.
Play the video.
Yeah, there's buckshot on a burrito bowl. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
She wears it too.
She like stepped back in the pocket too to throw it.
She faked it.
Yeah,
She was like, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like the immediate walk away, you know?
No.
You got to stand your ground on that.
Oh,
You
for
gotta-
sure. You got to like square up and be like, what now next? But I like how the lady took it. The manager just ate it. No pun intended. You know, it's just boom. But that would truly suck. Hopefully there's some sour cream to cool the hot damage.
That's probably what they did. It's like when we got a burn at McDonald's when I used to work there, we just layer up with pickles on our hands.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No, you did.
Yeah, that was the cure. Yeah.
That's crazy.
I like the.
Smell my fingers.
Yeah.
Fingers.
Yeah.
But we should point out, she obviously got arrested, but the judge sentenced her, instead of serving, I think, 120 days in prison, it's 90 days in prison, and then the remaining 30 days. No, it's 2 months she has to spend working at a fast food restaurant.
20 hours a
That's
week.
what I was hoping. It was like, for the rest of your sentence, you got to work at Chipotle.
Yeah, this Chipotle.
Yeah,
Right?
and then the internet comes together like you shouldn't kill cats or whatever. And
Yeah,
then,
yeah, don't
and then
fuck
they start
with
whipping
cats.
Chipotle bowls at her.
I think like there should have been like a little bit of fine print in there that the lady who like charged her worked in there where she got to come in one time. You know what I mean? Just once over her working there.
And
so
harass
that
her.
lady has to go to work every day in fear that this lady's going to show up and throw a piping hot burrito bowl in her face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think it's just because they're now short-staffed. Because this girl, she said she had like Chipotle burrito in her hair and face for 4 hours. They wouldn't let her off because no one could cover her shift. So she continued to work and then quit after a month. So they're just short-staffed now. They're just like, the judge has,
That's their
he
backdoor
owns this
deal?
franchise of the Chipotle.
Really screwing me up here, all right? So now I'm going to need you to work for free.
I didn't know you could just sentence people to work. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know you could
fire.
just do
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's manual labor. That's where your license plates are being made.
I wonder if there's like a hierarchy.
Facts, dude.
yeah.
Do you think there's like a hierarchy for it, like in like the judges have? Like assaults, like you got to work at like a Florida Denny's. Murder, you got to work at like a Mississippi IHOP.
Yeah, you got to do the 2 a.m. Louisiana
Yeah.
IHOP.
If you're a
Waffle
pedophile,
House,
you get
yeah.
sent to the parish. You got to work a shift there.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Well, I don't know if that. Yeah,
Sent to
yeah.
Philadelphia.
Yeah.
If it's a hate crime, you're now a state trooper. Yeah.
Oh no! You're just in a you take the place of the cop that charged you if you
Yeah.
commit a hate crime. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know how they
I don't want
judge
to
that.
play this game.
I've been checking in. Everything I said, he's just been like, he's like, no, not again.
Oh, that's fucking jokes.
I like the woman who went after the perpetrator in this video because she seems like also like
She's
kind
like,
of
"Why'd
like
you do that?" Yeah.
she's like also kind of like a Karen looking lady. So it's like
That was a
using
perfectly
it-
good burrito bowl. Somebody would have ate that.
using her powers for good.
Yeah. That's why I always like those, like the one person like or in fight videos or like anything where they'll like come in and like try and get in the scrum. Like I just watched this one at the Oilers after yesterday's Oilers game. There's a massive brawl in the casino, and then like the one guy comes in and then he's like, "No, you gotta stop!" And then he just gets hit. And he's like, "I'm in it now."
How quickly he shifts.
Yeah.
Did you see that recent video? The fight video. It was at a hockey game. These two guys, like, there's a bunch of dudes fighting, and then it kind of gets broken up, and you can tell this guy's like, "You want a fucking piece of me? I'm fucking crazy." He goes and headbutts the glass and knocks himself clean out. Like, he's just like, "You want to fucking keep going?" Boosh. Just like prove a point. Clonks himself down. It's one of the funniest fucking endings to a fight I've ever seen. Knocks himself out.
That's like that one video where the one guy's trying to fight him beside the car, and then he goes to headbutt his car. And he's like, "Oh," and he headbutts it, but then as soon as his head bounces back off the windshield, buddy just clocks him, knocks him right out, and then he just gets back in his car and drives off.
Oh man.
But some people do that, like, I don't know if it's like berserker mode where they're like, "Ah," and they try and like
It's like
intimidate.
that mob mentality, is that what it's called? Just
Yeah,
a
yeah.
big
Well,
group of people.
Yeah, but like the individual where they're like try to be like, "I'm crazy,
I'm fucking crazy.
Yeah, and then you're like, okay,
They just like
whatever.
bite the end off their beer bottle. They're like, "Yeah,
He's
fucking
bleeding
Chewing
in his
glass.
mouth.
Yeah. You're supposed to break it. They're just like,
Yeah.
"I'll fucking kill you with the fat end." Like,
Buddy, you're frothing blood from the mouth. Just the Budweiser still just in his jawline.
I was actually kind of thinking about that. Like, shit can go wrong so quickly at like a big event. I was just at the Sens Leafs game, and the security woman in our section was just like, clearly some woman who's now retired, and her husband's just like pissing her off, so she has a little part-time job to just get out of the house. And I was like, it's Sens Leafs. What if like fans start fighting? Like, who's gonna break this up right now? Like, imagine a whole arena just turning against the one security guard per fucking gate.
oh, dude, that's a dream. You know what I mean? To experience mayhem like that would just be unreal. I bet you.
Yeah.
Like,
Shut the fuck up. This guy just finished telling a story how his goon buddies went out the other night and they got in a fight, and after in the car he's like, "Why are you guys doing that?
Yeah.
We're
But
older now. Like, stop.
That
Don't
was
fight. I don't want to do
a
that."
5-on-2 fight. But if it was like Sens versus Leafs, just gang war in the arena, that would be something to behold. I'm just saying.
You're
Alright,
the
for
you're
sure.
the
We'll see.
fucking,
We'll see.
You're
Um,
the dickhead in like when Canadian hockey teams lose in the Stanley Cup Finals. You're flipping cars.
yeah,
afterwards.
in Vancouver, the
Yeah,
Vancouver
and then the whole
riots.
the
he's
whole
not
American.
even he's not even a Vancouver supporter. He's like, "Oh man, I flew in all the way from Ottawa for this shit."
Or there was a
hoping they
chance
would
of a
lose.
riot. Yeah,
yeah.
and the American press gets on our case for like they're not crazy down there.
Yeah. I think burrito bowl would suck. Like I just,
Hot burrito bowl to the face is tough.
but like I think throwing a burrito would
Way
just
better-
be
way better
so
weapon.
awesome. Like,
Yeah.
would you throw it tomahawk or like?
Well, I'd
Football.
put a spin on it
Football.
for sure.
Football, yeah, football.
It just so it spins right to you,
just
right? Full
Tom
on.
Brady it right to someone's dome.
Dude,
That's what I would do.
I think I would love to be like, you know, close combat sort of, and just like and like
Tomahawk
watch it, like spin.
like
Yeah,
a throwing
yeah.
knife in Call of Duty.
Yeah,
Just, like,
exactly.
cross map it.
Then it gets the full flop, so it
Yeah, but
explodes.
like,
Yeah.
but like it starts at the bottom, but still gets their full
Yeah,
face
and then
smushed with it.
both ends explode, so it's like
Point.
all down the shirt and then up the back.
I don't think you get the explosion from a spiral.
Yeah.
Tomahawk, you get that explosion.
Yeah,
You got a
the
shot
full-
put it. You guys
Yeah.
are putting too much.
Shot
into
put
this.
it?
Just right in the close quarters.
What are you,
Yeah,
dude?
or
A
you- or
fucking
you hold-
Amazon?
Hold
You're
it
not shot
sideways
putting
like a
that, bro.
discus and do the full spin. Just Krillin
She's
Destructo
right up in her
disc.
face.
Just load it into a t-shirt cannon at that point and blast it.
Yeah.
First.
But then it's like you got to worry about what, like, I felt like if you threw it like that, then it kind of would
Yeah,
like
you're getting splashed.
that, and it would unwrap and explode,
Oh,
like
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of right.
They wrap it tight at Chipotle though. They got a good wrap on those.
Yeah, or you just throw it like that, like
Like a
and then they
baby.
catch it, and then that's when you missile drop kick the rest of it in their face.
You hand them
That's
the,
when you're just
you
having
hand
fun
them
with
the
it.
grenade and then pull the pin out. Yeah, I get it.
Or like when the wrestlers would toss you the chair, and then they'd catch it, and then they'd like kick
Kick the
it,
chair
the
into
chin and
them.
head. Yeah, that's how you do it.
That's not your first move. That's like once you're having fun with it after
Yeah,
it's been going
yeah.
on for too long. Yeah.
That's like your sixth fight with a burrito as a weapon.
Yeah,
You should be banned from burritos if you've had that many burrito fights.
yeah. Don't give that guy burrito. Why? Oh, he just likes beating people up with it. Like a
Do you
GT.
remember? No, do you remember? There was one time when we were in Montreal, we went and got those sandwiches, and they were wrapped in tinfoil, and we were walking. I was just like holding
Just
it,
look at each other.
and I was like, "How fucking good would it feel to just
so
huck
good.
this at someone random walking by, like just in their head, just like as you're walking, just like boosh with this a nice wrapped." Crazy thought to have just in that moment.
Oh,
but
yeah,
I still think about it all the time.
In junior high school, like we'd sometimes go to like other schools to like just because like one of like they were like hooking up with one of the girls from our school or some shit, and like vice versa, or like they didn't like each other. So I remember we went to this one junior high school, and it was like one of those scrums where like everybody's kind of faced off, right? Like their school,
Civil War style.
Yeah, their school guys came against our school guys, and then one dude whipped a sandwich like at my head. And then it hit me, and then I went down and went, "Who whips a sandwich?" And then just started eating it. But like that was my way because I felt so embarrassed that I just got bimmed with a sandwich. And I'm like, "Fuck, you can't look cool doing it." I'm like, "What can you do?" I'm like, "Wow, just eat it, like take it like a champ." And then
And
everybody
start making fun of the type of sandwich
yeah,
it is.
yeah.
Like,
And then everybody was just
tuna
like, "Whoa,
salad.
wow, nice move." And then I was just like inside, I'm like, "I got a fucking sandwich ripped in my head," right? I just felt so little.
I thought you were gonna be like, just picked it up, shoved the whole thing, like, "You wanna fuck with me? I'm fucking crazy, man."
Yeah, this is what I think your sandwich is. Throw it back up. This shit, what your mom make, you little bitch?
swallow it, then throw it up.
Yeah. That's how much I don't care about the sandwich. You don't care.
Eat it again.
Yeah. Start scooping up it. Maybe it tastes better now. And they're like, "Oh,
Everyone's left at this point. You're still just repeating that.
the process."
We had crazy food fights in my high school to the point where they ended up happening in classrooms. Like we had classroom food
I'm
fights.
so jealous of this. You always tell this story, like
It's insane.
or like multiple stories of sick food
Yeah.
fights. That never happened.
Yeah.
Just the
good
one
food-
poor kid that has to go to like the school program to get fed for lunch is just like, "What?" He's so upset that everybody's wasting the food. He's like, "But I would eat that." You guys don't know I come from a broken home and my mom doesn't afford food, and you guys are just whipping it. Like, you know what it'd be to eat a pizza pop right now? You guys are assholes.
He's jumping in front of all the fucking fire.
I'm trying to eat it like a little German shepherd.
Like
catching it.
remember that game Sky Burger? He's running around with bread trying to catch ingredients
Yeah.
to build himself a sandwich.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. Oh man, I love food fights. Why? I get so much food to eat. But
Well, before we move on from this story, though, I do want to say she asked to get like the rest of the day off, and then they're like, "No, we don't have anyone to cover for you.
is that the
Just
employee?
fucking leave." Yeah.
Oh.
What are you thinking?
Yeah.
Thinking she wasn't one to shy away from eating a burrito bowl. I'm just kidding. She looks happy eating a cake pop there.
Yeah. Why did the journalist say take this picture with a cake pop? She's trying to like make the audience feel guilty.
She's like, I work at Starbucks now. I have benefits.
we're unionized. So
I
then
feel
what?
bad though. Like, just fucking leave. Like, why don't you just leave? She had to work for 4 hours with burrito in her hair. They're like, no, sorry. Like, you
There's
gotta
no
stick it out.
shot.
I
I'm
would
walking
laugh.
out the door. That's crazy.
And what does it
fucking
say?
wild.
Russell, who worked at Chipotle for 4 years and has been in the service industry for 9 years, says she had drinks and sandwiches thrown at her by customers, but never experienced something so
Jesus
violent
Christ,
at
sound
work
it
before.
out, buddy.
You're like, when it gets to that clip in English talking.
Dude, my buddy asked me what was 14 times 2. I'm like, I don't know. I'm not a math guy.
Dude, you're not a word guy.
Yeah,
either.
yeah.
Dude.
That was my biggest fear when the teacher, like, I'd count how many people had to read before me, and I'm like rereading my
Just
lines
studying
and shit.
it, yeah.
It's the longest paragraph.
Yeah. I'm like
There's no
Nick
pictures
Cannon.
in this fucking thing.
Yeah, Nick Cannon from Drumline. I don't know how to read. I just know how to speak. Because he didn't know how to read music. He just played. But my biggest question in this article is who's naming their girl Russell?
It's her
Last
last,
name.
name.
Last name.
Oh,
Yeah.
checks out.
Also, like the sentence being she has to now work in a fast food joint. What does that say to like fast food employees? You know what I mean? That must make you feel like shit.
Oh yeah, when you go to like a McDonald's and you see like anything or like they get just treated like shit.
Yeah.
I
Some
think
people.
I think it's a good policy. Like you got to experience what it's like behind
I love
it.
it, but at the same time, it's like if I'm a fast food worker, it's like, okay, this is where all the convicts are going, I guess. Which I think we already knew that, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's like the fucking.
Wait, you're telling me all the kitchen guys are convicts?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. You're like, what's up with James? He's got 2 tear tattoos like this. He's like, yo, man, I'll fucking stab anyone for a McChicken. I love McDonald's.
That's just James.
Yeah,
He
that's
talks
just
like that.
James.
That's
Oh,
how he-
James, he's making a shank out of it.
frozen patty.
Yeah.
Every time you look at him, he's like this, but he's super nice to all the female employees.
Yeah.
All right.
Every time on break, he's just eating his food like this, just covering it.
He's making like just like prison food too. He's like, no, this is how I like to eat my hot Cheetos, smashing them up and mixing an egg in with them. Like, no, I don't like to drink soda. I like to put Jolly Ranchers in soda water and let it dissolve.
All right, let's get into our last headline here, which reads,
It reads, New York City robbers pretend gun gestures net them $1 million in stolen jewelry.
so they use finger guns to rob a jewelry store
Oh,
in New York City. It was around 1:30 in the morning. They walked in. There's a 33-year-old man working there, and they convinced him with the finger guns, and they ran off with $1 million worth of jewels and gems.
Do you think they did it like this?
It had to have been pretty fucking
Do you
convincing,
think they
dude.
had to do it like this? Like with a...
I think it was
I don't.
open.
If he came like
I think
this,
it was open.
they were
think
just
it-
Jamaicans. Like,
That was
the jewels. You know?
okay. I can see that being scary. You know?
Oh my god! But like coincidentally, a light bulb broke. Like when they did that, and the guy's like, "Oh no!"
These guys got powers.
But,
Yeah,
the quote, the way the
Wizards.
quote reads, it makes me think it was actual exposed finger guns because the cops say, police say 2 men entered the business while simulating pointing guns at the 33-year-old man. Like, how convincing do your finger guns got to be?
Yeah, they were like improvised actors, and they were holding it properly, like this, not finger guns, but they were miming the gun gently.
Like, and they just convince him that there's a gun there. He just can't see it.
Yeah.
I just love, like, I feel like, you know, they walk in, they're like, give me the gun. And he's like, wait a second. 2 fucking guns.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking playing.
Yeah,
Like,
puts it down. He's like, oh man, he's got a Draco, right?
At the end, he hands over the jewels. He's like, pistol whips him.
That's my favorite part of the story. Is at the bottom of the article it says no injuries were reported.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
Plot twist: the 1 million worth of jewels is actually fake jewels, and the guy's like, "Oh!" and he puts them on there, and they're like, "Yeah."
Would have been hilarious if it was like 2 wounded at the scene, one brutally pistol whipped.
Gun, like 2 dead and shooting from pistol.
Yeah.
Finger gun heist.
So you punched him? No, I pistol whipped him. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But it fucking works, dude.
A pistol whip with no guns is like a punch. And it's like, "Ah!"
It's just a bitch punch. Like it's
I'm actually
Yeah.
trying to like imagine how this would have played out though. Like
It probably. I think it would have been like that, like
under-
in a sleeve, kind
Yeah.
of. Because if someone went like this, I'd be like, "Oh," you know.
Yeah.
Unless the guy that was robbing was a mime.
there's a
He's-
struggle. Yeah.
He's like, "No, he knows it. He knows it. I went to theater school in France. These guns are real."
Mime by day operates jewelry store by
Yeah.
night. That's the other thing too. They're open at 1:30 in the morning. Like no one buys an engagement ring at 1:30 in the morning. You steal one.
Yeah,
That's what you're doing.
steal
at
it or
1:30.
sell it.
Yeah. Like why are you even open at that?
I would
hour?
feel so like ashamed if I was that like jewelry store guy. You know, you wouldn't be able to hear it at the end. It's like they didn't even have real guns, Rob. And you're like, oh,
They were
right?
so convincing.
Yeah.
I like to
You're just
imagine.
here because you're my wife's brother. Get the fuck out
Yeah,
of the way,
exactly.
You know?
I like to imagine like a struggle went down and they're fighting for the gun. It turns it on.
Yeah. Points it in.
I would have liked to imagine like he's pointing the gun at him. Like I'm the guy just like just fucking do it, man. Yeah, fucking balls. Just fucking like puts it
Or he
in his-
does, or he does one of those like quick gun.
Turns it sideways.
Yeah.
Like, oh, shit, just got real. Just grabs it, puts it on. You won't fucking do it.
Yeah. Come on, I wanted to die for 3 years, man. Do it.
I'm working the graveyard shift at the jewelry store.
Yeah.
The only business I get is robberies.
I wanted to be a violinist. It's like, no, I'm selling jewelry. Do it, man.
The second robber's like, it's not worth it, man. Just take the shit and run. They took off in a black Mercedes. So I feel like these are like rich ass criminals that are just having fun with it now. Like
It was a
probably
dare?
it's probably like a bet. They're like, yo, do you think we're just so good at this? Like, you bet we could just do it with
Did the
finger
jewel
guns?
thieves get
Like,
caught?
No.
Oh my God, bless them.
No, dude. Or like it was like they probably had like 12 different strategies on how to do it, and one of them was finger guns. And like, let's mix it up this time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let's have some fun with it.
There's
Well, let's see if we can rob these guys without guns, but with guns. I like what you're doing, and I'm into it.
Or they just like, it's a classic, like it was 1:15. They're like, what if we no gun it, but we just pretend that we have it? And they're like, yeah, that's good. We can't get, that's not a felony charge.
Yeah,
you know?
they won't get us on gun charges. And
Yeah.
guys like, yeah, I mean, but maybe they will. You guys like, what do you got? I got a Desert Eagle. Oh shit, all I got is a Sig Sauer, but whatever, let's do it. They go in.
Dude, this is a fucking South Park bit.
Dude, I love this guy's fucking knowledge of guns. Just from
Right,
the
I'm a-
beginning of the show, talking about how he's so into this military game he's got. And he's name dropped like 8 specific
Oh,
guns.
I'm a gun guy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You own?
Oh yeah, I'm a licensed gun owner.
Really?
How many you
yeah.
got?
I got 7.
You got one with you now?
It's at home, locked up, separate from the ammo.
That's how you got to do it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's Canada.
Do you hunt or
No, I just like
shoot people?
just like shooting things.
I like driving down the highway and just aiming at street signs.
Yeah.
You know?
No, I just like target shooting. I think I don't know. I think like anyone should be able to adequately defend themselves like up close and afar.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Just in case you're in an alley in Bangkok ever.
Yeah, you never know, man. Right? You never know. Like I don't know. I plan on moving to the States and stuff, and like I don't know. I just think it's like,
Don't want to get caught unawares.
yeah, you better get caught with one than without one. You know, that's
Exactly.
what 50 Cent said.
Exactly.
yeah.
I was gonna quote that. Like,
But and I'm
do
also
it.
from Alberta, so it's like it's kind of like I don't know, like a lot of my friends do hunt, and like I don't know, I just think it's like if you can get it, why not? Right?
They're also super cool.
yeah, and it's like fun when you go with your buddies and you just like target shoot, and it's like nice to know that you can hit like a dinner plate from 400 yards out or whatever.
Just
right?
in case, you know?
Yeah, you know, and plus, from since I was a kid, like me and my buddies have always planned for like an apocalypse or if like shit happens or like, so all my build is like based on like what kind of ammo can I get readily. That's like, you know, like if like I had to scrummage through a truck, what kind of would I find? A 308, 22, 9mm. Like I built it all.
Holy fuck. I'm
on-
coming to your house in the
Oh yeah,
apocalypse
dude,
happens.
yeah, like on like a whole.
We should get. We have a buddy who's got a list of people that he has that he will call in the event of an apocalypse.
Oh yeah, like
Should
I
probably
have
we'll send him this epi. Now we got a gun guy and an armory. Honestly.
Oh yeah, well that's the thing too, right? Like it's like when I like I don't know, I call it like weird, but in like my close circle, and I'm like, okay, well, like if shit hits the fan, like what are they like? I can never have someone that's like allergic to fucking nuts in my like, close circle or whatever, right?
What if you can? Like what if you're
you know, like we're going for a resource run, and the guy steps on a nature valley, and it's like might as well buy an IED. The guy's like, and you're like, sorry, buddy, the world collapsed. Don't have an EpiPen, you know, like. So it's like I don't know, but I've always been like that as a kid, where I'm like I just I'm like if zombies happen, okay, I gotta have shit, or if like a
What's your
civil
plan?
collapse.
What's your plan?
My plan
I know you
depends
got a
on where
plan.
I am. Where no matter where I'll go, I'll try and make it back out west to like my house,
Right.
like in Edmonton, see if my family's good, and then after that, it's like whatever, right? Like my main mission priority is to get to my place in Edmonton and see like my immediate family, and if there's zombies, I gotta put them down.
You gotta
right?
kill him, eh?
Yeah,
Damn,
exactly.
that's dark.
This is for Christmas 2003, Dad. Right? It's like unload the trauma that I've been holding in. Right?
I said PlayStation on PSP.
Yeah. What is this shit? Taking my Xbox cord, you bastard! But no, like I don't know. I've always been like that,
Finger
or
gun
like
pistol whip him.
yeah,
dude.
or like if like a situation happens, right, where it's like I don't know, man, like
Like when COVID hit, did you have that conversation
Oh,
with your
buddy,
buddies?
when COVID hit, everybody was getting cans, and I was getting ammo cans. I bought like 2 handguns right away, but I also knew I did though, because I knew like shit was like I don't know. I knew like the government was gonna take away like firearms.
6 feet.
So,
6 feet.
Yeah. So I was like, well, yeah, and then so I just bought like guns. I just bought guns and ammo, and then I'm like,
It's a
all
crazy
right.
way to use your Serb.
Yeah. But no, I had like a job. I was working film when everything was shut down, right? Because they got to put out film and television to keep everyone docile at home. But
Tell you what else will keep them fucking docile.
Nice 308 to the chest. No, but like I don't know. I've always been like fascinated with like firearms and like and stuff like that, right? Like I thought about joining the military when I was a kid or a police officer and that kind of stuff. But I've always kind of like I don't know. I just had a nice like I think
It wasn't to serve and protect. It was just to
have a gun.
just go down and peacekeep. No, but
So
yeah.
you call people boy.
Yeah. But like, I don't know. And like I said, growing up in Alberta, you had people that would hunt, right? And stuff. So you kind of was always, I don't know, you always knew. But it was crazy. Like as soon as I got my license and then I got firearms, how many people like, you're like, oh shit, you had guns this whole time, right? So it's like, and the community's nice too. They're all like, most of them are, I feel like are kind of like heavily on the spectrum, but like
The gun community?
oh yeah, it's like they're just going off, nerding out so hard on their guns, and they'll come up and be like polite, and then they'll like, you know, they'll be like, oh, I noticed, you know, you're kind of off on your pattern here, and then they'll like tell you more about your gun than you even knew and stuff. But I don't know, I just think it's fun to have guns, and then sometimes I'll like, you know, walk around the house,
Just hold it?
Yeah, just hold it.
You're
Doing the taxi driver,
Or you're just like eating breakfast in your underwear. You just got all of them on the table. You're like, yeah, this is
Well, no, I'm
dude
not
shit.
like that.
Dude
or whatever,
shit.
But yeah, but like I don't know. It's like
Dude, I would totally do that.
I
I
would
would eat
so
my
do it.
breakfast with just like desert eagle
yeah,
on the
yeah.
table.
I'd be eating yogurt and berries with the fucking barrel of it, man.
but no, it's like it's fun, and then you like clean it up, and you like I don't know. It's like therapeutic too. It's like a nice day out, and
yeah.
and you're enjoying it, and
Dude, I would only watch Sopranos with a gun in my hand. Like, I
Yeah?
would just sit there on the couch and watch the gun in my hand watching The Sopranos.
But it's like I don't know. It's like it's cool, but it's also like I don't know. People kind of like, especially in Canada, where they're like, oh, like they think it's crazy when you talk like you got like guns and stuff and all that, but you're like, I don't know.
I've never seen a gun.
Got a bug out
in real
bag
life.
and all that shit.
Never shot a gun, never seen a gun.
Oh really?
In real life.
It's like
yeah.
fun.
It's fun as hell.
Yeah.
It's super fucking fun.
Yeah. And like I don't know, I just enjoy it. I enjoy the firearms. And
Do you think
like,
that's how it all started?
what?
Like beefs and like wars and shit. Like they first made guns and then they shot them and they were fun. Like what are we gonna do with it? And then they just started beefing each other.
Well,
Yeah,
think they
I
were
bet you like there was like competitions. Be like, hey, this musket's so inaccurate. You go 100 yards away. And we'll fire at each other, and if you hit me, you win, and
You
if I
win.
hit you, you win.
No,
I guess people.
win.
I guess people were beefing like when there were
Oh,
swords
for
and
sure.
shit.
But they were
So-
like, they had arrows and stuff.
Yeah,
And then they
yeah.
were like, oh, okay, what can we do more mass damage? And then they had like, you know, the bombs and stuff or the
a
great
cannon.
mirrors.
Just
Yeah,
a big fucking
cannons.
cannon.
All that shit. But I don't know. I think war's been around the whole time, everywhere.
Yeah.
In us, around
dark.
us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got dark.
Yeah, I just got. I
Wait
felt
till
the
these
whole
keep-
mood
What are
of
your
this
thoughts on
podcast.
Israel
just went,
Palestine? It's just like-
Talked a lot
Let's
of
not
death.
piss Danny off on the rest of the show.
I've just been like keeping one eye on your backpack over there.
yeah. What's that ticking, right? Tick, tick. Oh, that's just my timer at the end of this podcast. It's
We've been
finished.
interviewing Sean McDermott this
Yeah.
entire time. Bills coach.
Yeah. Boston Bomber, you say? Hey? Right? But no, it's
The
like,
only-
The Unabomber was actually a genius.
Yeah,
You really
yeah,
think
yeah. He
about
had
it.
something going on.
The only thing that you like that's like that you've mentioned on this podcast that's like an uplifting thing is catamarans.
Yeah. And Red Bulls and
an
stuff.
enema.
Well, I don't know. You guys just gave me 3 back-to-back, like pretty like back pages, like 9/11, and then we had Chipotle Bowl, and
No, you're right. You're right. This is our fault. Yeah, this is our fault.
yeah. I don't think I was the one that
No,
brought
it
up
was my
death
fault.
videos.
Don't get
I'm just sitting here in the chair. Yes, and yes, and yes, and.
That's what we love doing that whenever, because we do episodes with just us, but then when you have guests on, it's usually comedians. And we're like, this is a pretty fucked story. We're like, yeah, but they're a comedian. You know? They'll be able to play along with it.
Desensitized.
Yeah.
You're like, I just wanted to talk about the resurgence of Furbies, but
Are they back?
I think so. Yeah, I've been following this page Furby Long or whatever, and it's like, I don't know if you guys seen it, dude. It's so like weird and random. Where Buddy takes a Furby, but then he like elongates it, so it's this long one. But then he has like it's like a weird abstract. Like I'll repost it, and people are like, "What is this?" Where it's just like they'll be giving birth to other Furbies, or like you'll have like that like. I don't know. It's just weird ass shit, but
Is this it here?
yeah, these guys, man, yeah. Furby long, and then they're like things, but then like
long.
I don't know.
It's
Yeah,
just Furbies, but long.
but longer, and then they'll do like weird shit where they give birth to other Furbies, and then they'll like give birth to like small babies, and they have like weird little music in the
And
background.
this is what is making you. This is what makes you believe that Furbies are so back right now. No, I'm telling you, there's this new thing, long Furbies.
No, but it's like the teeny weenies where everybody was getting teeny weenies back, and like they were collectors. Now like Furby, like there's Furby collectors and shit.
What's a teeny weenie?
Teeny weenies, like a beanie
Bean
weenie?
babies?
Yeah,
Beanie babies?
Beanie babies. Yeah.
There's been some other things that have come back. Mighty Beans came back too for a bit. Tamagotchis, I think, had a resurgence there for a little bit.
Yeah. I liked 90s like toys and early 2000s toys.
Mm.
What was the one? Did you guys ever play like of course did you guys play with Beyblades and stuff?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
And then like
Bakugan.
Bakugan ripped too.
What's
what was the
Bakugan?
one beat 'em on with the things with the
Bakugan
marbles
was like
that you
little
shoot out of 'em?
balls that like you would flick, and then they would like form.
That might be
like,
a little. That might be a bit like after your
Okay.
childhood time, but yeah, Bakugan was. There had a TV show of it too.
Ripped.
Real nerd shit.
Ripped.
It had like a metallic card, and you rolled it, and then it would pop out like a little.
oh,
transformer.
these look
Yeah.
cool. I would have played with those.
Yeah, they were pretty good. That was a good toy.
And you'd battle each other with them?
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And then what? One would explode, and that's when you lost?
It just had different powers. It wasn't.
I think it was like playing Pokemon cards, but with action figures, kind of. Like how
Oh.
Pokemon cards have like different
Coleman
abilities.
Resident Bakugan.
Did you guys know Metabots? Did you ever watch Metabots? More Metabots, more power?
No.
Oh, dude, those are the sickest things.
I remember the commercials from childhood, but I never had.
They would
them.
like have like a little coin or whatever, and that coin would be what the like the personality or the power of it. But then you could like make like attach more weapons to them, or like they were like small little like,
Dude,
bots.
my across the street neighbor Travie P used to have Metabots, and
Oh,
I'd fucking play with them.
They were
yeah.
sick, and then they would always battle, but then out of nowhere, like the referee would come out from like a trash can, or he goes, "Meta battle ready!" And like he'd always pop out of nowhere, and like it was like everybody was always down for a Metabot battle. Heavy nerd right now on this one, you know?
This is what he came to the show for.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
like, hopefully these guys are into
Hopefully
long
you're
furs.
obscure 90s toys.
Yeah. But
That's jokes.
Right on. All right. Well, what do you got going on? What do you got coming up in the near future before we wrap things up? here?
we got just the Loft Lounge today, and then I'm doing 5 for 5 in Toronto on Tuesday, and then I'm back to Alberta for a couple corporates, and then finish up the new year and move to New York on the 9th.
You moved to New York.
Yeah, got my visa approved, all that jazz. And
Holy
then,
shit.
Yeah.
Good for you, man. We're going to New York in January.
Oh,
We're
nice.
trying to do some podcasts down there. and
Yeah.
Just, I don't know, see what happens.
Yeah, do it.
Making the move, though. That's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. It's been a long time coming, so I do that. And then that was why I was up in Fort Mac for the last 4.5 months. I was waiting for my visa to clear. And then my buddy's like, "Do you want to come work in the rigs?" And I was like, "Yeah, all right." It's
All right,
like,
one last chance to do it.
yeah. Well, it's like funny though, because now I've unlocked the Alberta cheat code where it's like no matter what in my life, I can go back and make like 120K a year, or like a quick like 25 grand, clear it in my pocket for like 40 days on a shutdown and go back. And like, I don't know, now I just feel like what is life? You know what I mean? Right? Like
This is the Alberta dream.
Oh
man.
yeah, man. But it's like funny because like so then I went there and I was working in the patch for like 4.5 months, and then now I'm like, okay, it's clear, right? Now I'm good to go to New York with a nice little stack of cash, and
Nice.
then we go and link up with the buddies there, and then take the next step,
Yeah.
right?
You're going for comedy, right?
Yeah. So go there and open for the guys like Ryan Long and Che and stuff.
Yeah.
and Try and work that circuit, and then move on to the next step, right? In Canadian show business, it's you do well here, and then you move over there, or you just stay here and be complacent. But You know, we're not doing that. We're going for gold.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't own 7 guns to be complacent.
Yeah. But everybody's like, what's your dream? And like, it's so weird. Like, I want a safe, right? What I want a safe, fingerprint, scan safe, open it up, 25 grand cash Canadian, 25 grand cash American, a little bit of gold, a little bit of diamonds in there, Canadian passport, American passport, and a loaded 92 FS with a couple of clips. That's what I want. If I get that, bro, I made it. You know what I mean? I'm done.
That is a great place to end this off at, man.
That's
honestly,
what I
my
want.
dream sounds like shit compared
Couple
to
of
that.
Beyblades in there.
Yeah,
A couple of
fucking
Beyblades and be
Fergus.
like, you see this Metabot? But like that's my goal. I feel like if I have that, then I've kind of reached it, right? Because I've gotten American citizenship. I've got enough money just
Right
to
on.
have cash
Yeah.
and shit. And
So if you stop seeing clips and posts and specials from Danny Martinello, it's because he has a safe with 25K American,
Yeah,
25K
I'm
Canadian.
Two
sitting in my
passports.
bunker counting my canned goods.
Just waiting.
Yeah.
Just waiting.
Yeah, exactly. Like, when will it be time?
Therefore, down to the wire means the very last possible moment or to the very end.